Number 11 is dealing with composition of functions. So for this one here, f of g of 9, what this is actually telling us to do, if we rewrite this by using the definitions we talked about in the lecture, you can rewrite that as that. F of g of 9. This is saying that we're going to do g of 9 first, then we'll put our answer into the f. So let's do g of 9 off to the side first. So g of 9, we put 9 in here, so we have 9 over 3. And we can work that out to be 3. So now I know that g of 9 is equal to 3. I'm now going to go ahead and put this inside here in place of the g of 9. So I have f of 3 there instead. So f of 3, now this means I'm going to put 3 into this equation, the f equation. Instead of the x, I'll put in 3. So I get 9 over 3 squared minus 9. And I get 9 over 0. Now that we can't do. So in fact, this one we're going to have to put undefined. So you're not always going to get an answer for these. Sometimes you might get undefined answer. So 9 over 0, undefined. So that's part A. Okay, so part B, we want to do, so part B is g of f of x. Okay, g of f of x. Again, we're going to rewrite this by using the definition. Definition says that this is the same thing as putting the f into the g. Okay, so this second one here is going to go into the first one. We already have a formula for f of x, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in here instead of the f of x. So this I can write out as g of 9 over x squared minus 9. I took out the f of x, replaced it with the formula. Now I have this. What this tells me to do is I'm going to use the g formula, replace the x with what I have inside the parentheses. So here's a template I'm using. I've got something divided by 3. The x that's there, I got rid of it. So instead of the x, I'm going to replace it with what's inside the parentheses. I have 9 over x squared minus 9. I just need to simplify this now. So this is, I can write that as 3 over 1. I'm going to flip and multiply. So I get 9 over x squared minus 9, and I have this times 1/3. The 3 and the 9, that can cancel further. So this is what my final answer would be. Let me write the right notation. G of f of x is going to equal, since these reduce, 3 over x squared minus 9. And so that would be your final answer for part B. Now let's take a look at part C. Okay, so I'll give you a chance to make sure you can pause it if you didn't get done writing all that. So last one we'll do for part C. Part C is f of g of x. Okay, so f of g of x, again we're going to start with this one by writing the definition. That's going to be f of g of x, just like that. I'm going to replace the g of x with the formula, which is x over 3. So it looks like this. F, and I have x over 3. It's going to go inside there. That means I'm putting x over 3 into this x right here. So what that means is I'm using this as a template. So I have 9 over the x I'm going to remove. So that's the template I'm using. I got rid of the x. Going to replace it with what's inside the parentheses here. In this case I have x over 3. Okay, now let's do some simplifying. I have 9 over x squared over 9 over 9. I want to get common denominators with this one because the original problem was write it as a single fraction, so I don't want to have double fractions at all like I have here, complex fractions. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom here by 9. So if I do that, I get x squared minus 81 over 9 if I put this together as a single fraction. But I want to do flip and multiply on this one. So if I flip and multiply, I'll actually get the final answer. F of g of x is going to be equal to 81 over x squared minus 81. And there's nothing more I can do there. I can't cancel out the 81s because they had a minus sign in between there. So this would be your final answer. Now note, if you go back to part A was f of g of 9. Notice that if I were to do this step first and find my f of g of x first and then plug the 9 back in, I would still get undefined there. If I put 9 back into here, I would still get 81 divided by 0, which is undefined.